The rain tapped softly against the tinted windows of a black luxury car as Nathan Hale leaned back in the leather seat, his mind restless. Nathan was a self-made millionaire, owner of a sprawling real estate company, admired in public yet hollow in private. He had built his empire brick by brick, but in the process, he had lost nearly everything else: his marriage, his friends, even the warmth of family. He lived in a mansion filled with silence, where every room echoed with loneliness. That Friday, he decided to come home early. The business meetings had drained him, and for the first time in years, he felt an ache, not for wealth, but for connection. As his driver pulled into the long driveway, Nathan noticed something unusual: the faint glow of lights coming from the small caretaker's quarters at the edge of his property. Normally, he barely paid attention to the staff who worked for him. They cleaned the halls, polished the marble floors, trimmed the hedges, and disappeared before he arrived. But tonight, curiosity tugged at him. He stepped out of the car, ignoring the umbrella offered to him, and walked quietly toward the quarters. Inside, he heard laughter. Soft, pure, the kind of laughter he hadn't heard in his own house for years. Slowly, Nathan pushed the door open a crack. There, in the middle of the modest living room, was Daniel, the night janitor at his office building. Nathan had seen him countless times, mopping floors silently, head bowed, invisible. But tonight, Daniel wasn't just a janitor. He was a father. Sitting in a worn-out wheelchair was a little girl, maybe 8 or 9, with sparkling eyes but fragile legs that seemed twisted by birth. She clapped as Daniel, wearing his faded work uniform, performed a clumsy puppet show using old socks. He gave each sock a funny voice, dancing them around the room. His daughter squealed with joy, her laughter filling the air. Nathan froze. He had never seen such pure love. As the show ended, Daniel knelt in front of her, brushing her hair gently. "Someday, sweetheart," he whispered, "Daddy's going to fix everything. You'll walk. You'll run. I promise you that." The little girl touched his cheek. "I don't need to walk, Daddy. I just need you." Nathan's chest tightened. He had spent millions on parties, cars, and houses, but not one of those things ever gave him the kind of happiness that child's smile had just given her father. He knocked softly on the door. Daniel startled, quickly standing, embarrassed. "Mr. Hale, I didn't expect you here. I was just..." But Nathan raised a hand. "Don't stop, please." The girl looked up at Nathan with wide eyes. "Are you Daddy's boss?" Nathan managed a faint smile. "Something like that." What followed was an awkward silence, then a shy invitation from the girl for him to join. Against every instinct of pride and distance, Nathan sat on the old carpet. For the first time in years, he laughed, not the shallow laugh of a businessman making deals, but a laugh that came from somewhere real. Over the next weeks, Nathan found himself drawn back. He began finishing work early just to visit Daniel and his daughter, Lily. He learned her favorite stories, played board games with her, and even helped Daniel fix broken toys. Slowly, the millionaire who had everything began to realize he had nothing that truly mattered. One night, Nathan overheard a phone call. Daniel was speaking to the hospital, his voice trembling. "I don't have enough, please, just a little more time. My daughter's surgery, it's her only chance." He hung up, burying his face in his hands. Nathan's heart ached. For the first time in his life, money wasn't a weapon or a trophy. It was a lifeline. The very next morning, Daniel woke up to find a sealed envelope slipped under his door. Inside was a single note. "Every child deserves a chance to run, to dream, to live free. Consider this a gift. Not from your boss, but from someone who believes in your daughter as much as you do. N." Beneath the note was a check, enough to cover every medical expense, every surgery, every therapy session Lily would ever need. Daniel broke down in tears. He rushed to Nathan's mansion, falling to his knees. "Why would you do this for us?" Nathan's eyes glistened. "Because you reminded me what love looks like. Because your daughter reminded me what happiness feels like. And because for the first time in my life, I want to do something that actually matters." Months later, after countless doctor visits and painful therapy, the day came when Lily stood on shaky legs. Daniel held her hands, tears streaming down his face. Nathan was there too, standing silently in the corner, his heart pounding as he watched the miracle unfold. Step by trembling step, Lily walked across the room into her father's arms. The room erupted with sobs and laughter. Daniel hugged her tightly, whispering, "You did it, my little angel. You did it." Nathan turned away, wiping his eyes. He had built skyscrapers, signed billion-dollar deals, but nothing in his life compared to this moment. From that day forward, Nathan wasn't just the millionaire who lived in the big house on the hill. He became family. He spent holidays with Daniel and Lily, reading her stories, teaching her to ride a bike once her legs grew strong enough. And for the first time in his life, Nathan Hale discovered wealth that money could never buy: love, laughter, and belonging. Because sometimes, the greatest fortune isn't measured in numbers, but in the lives we touch.